Astride the river, in the middle of a small city wearing a large city's shoes, a big rectangular three-story warehouse with a fenced-in stockyard and a shipbuilding dock. Two street entrances for the warehouse, one for the stockyard, both with port entrances. No first-floor windows. Fence is 2 stories. Skylights. You have access to one obvious boat and one discreet one, as well as up to 11 people in the crew. The Riverbend Imperial Repository. It's time to plan and prepare. Welcome to Bloodwine.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello!
How goes it?
It goes
Saucy.
good.
Saucy.
It's been some time, hasn't it?
It
Yes.
has.
Yes, it's been quite some time.
Many years ago, I remember I left to visit my family, and
It's
I'm
so
sorry
funny
to
how the
say
most
that I left you in the past.
it's so weird that like the time that our schedule is actually disturbed significantly is when all of us are like getting vaccinated and seeing people after the pandemic. Like
Yep.
we had 1, maybe 2 weeks of downtime when we switched in. We had an almost unbroken record, and then it was literally just like, I'm not feeling great. I'm not feeling great. Oh, I just got the vaccine stuff. Oh, I'm just
Yep.
coincidentally out of town. Oh, I'm coincidentally just like
Taking a mini vacation, going on another mini vacation, visiting family, getting vaccines.
Yeah.
so we've been spotty. But
Yeah.
I got my vaccine yesterday and I felt like shit all day. But I
Mhm.
didn't want to miss today too. So
Stay strong.
yeah.
Bleed.
the warrior
get through
spirit.
it.
Gotta
Yeah.
be like a lion.
Ah,
win!
little sweaty lion, yeah.
Yeah. Like that like that big soccer tournament. Right, guys? Where Britain lost or won or I think Germany was
right.
there.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
England
there were a
lost,
lot of
right?
laser pointers pointed at goalies that day.
Yeah.
Man, you love to see it. Or hate to. I don't watch sports.
Same.
They do kick things, which is always entertaining.
What
I
I
heard
love
that England
is
was
that
racist, but
what
I
I
don't
love is that the fans weren't like the entire like game wasn't played by the players, it was played by the fans. It was like mind games of like how can we fuck with the other team and like make them lose focus. It's just like, yo, England's sketchy.
yeah.
Yo, England's fan base is sketchy.
Not
That's
to
one
bring
thing
up
that's
my
been-
favorite boat. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Bo.
That's one thing about the pandemic is that like as people have been isolated and under pressure, a lot of people are the same but more, you know?
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
the soccer riots and stuff like that were always like that, but then this one's kind of like, okay, chill.
You're letting a lot out now.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying, Gabe?
Yeah, what were you saying, Gabe?
Good one, Ken.
Thanks, Will. We've creeped them out now.
All right, so without further ado, you guys are currently rafted kind of on the other side of where all the ships are passing in front of Riverbend. Here, you're at the bottom of a long highway, one that you guys have traveled down before. Took a few days to get here, not very long, and with an extra ship, it's easy to, coordinate and keep an eye out for threats, that kind of thing. As it stands, you're like roped up to each other so you can walk or jump from one ship to the other over the gangplanks. You are with the crew that you met up with just last session, which was Crowquill's old circus friends. And they tipped you off that they heard about a job raiding the Imperial Repository. So let's get to work. Is there anything else that you guys want to recap or ask about before we dig into it?
What type of music would Crowquill's old circus band produce? Because it sounds like a band name, but I'm not sure what music they would play. It sounds like a pop punk band, like a pop punk My Chemical Romance cover band.
I feel like it's a YouTube genre, you know? Like it's 12 genres deep and they're really the only band that does it.
Fair enough.
As someone who's been listening nonstop to Weird Al polka songs, like, I feel that.
Or it's something like a Steam Powered Giraffe where it's like, oh yeah, it's a whole genre. There's 3 bands?
Steam Powered Giraffe is a band that I listen to sometimes, and I'm embarrassed to admit that in front of all of you today.
Everybody has those.
It's okay. I listen to Eurobeats. It's fine.
I find that a lot of the, like, for lack of a better word, like, Tumblr fandom music is stuff that, like, if it were on its own, I could like it, but there's this, like, Pavlovian response where it's like, you remind me of people that I don't have the fondest of memories of.
If you weren't so cringy, I could have loved you.
My Spotify mix consists of classic rock, sea shanties, and Eurobeats.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, I can handle somebody being cringy as shit as long as they're, like, also decent. It just sucks when someone's cringy and they kind of suck also.
Yeah. So...
like, it's okay to be weird. It's not okay to, like, you know, be weird about shit.
That's how the brony thing got started.
Yep.
I think men just don't know how to enjoy something without having a sort of sexual relationship with it.
Yeah, not really raised learning about how to do it. It's not a norm that really exists, so it's very easy for people to kind of run in blind and go in the wrong direction with things.
Yeah.
We're not taught how to emotion.
No. So it's like you see Apple Dash and you're like, I enjoy this. Why? I don't want to be an Apple Dash.
Yeah,
I must want to fuck an Apple Dash.
And it's frustrating because so many of these conversations are either framed from the standpoint of, like, it's a perfectly valid argument, but the thesis is like, so fuck women! Or it's a perfectly valid argument, and then the thesis is, men, shut the fuck up, leave, and fix yourselves. And neither of them does anything. Neither of them does.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm shouty at the beginning of the stream. I was specifically really low energy, and then just, like, I don't know, I'm in the heist mode. It's not even the heist, it's the plan.
Let's do some heist and planning.
Yeah, before we get too deep into it, which one of us is going to make the GitHub joke first?
I think that was just you.
Yeah!
Yep.
All right, then. Let's get into that repository. So, let's go over some stuff. You guys are the crew of the Bilgewater. You are 3 of its crew members. You're the protagonists, obviously, so I'm presuming all of you guys are, by default, big parts of the raid. You have 2 ships, but also this is a big city, and, like, I'd be willing to say, given the fact that you've been here before and you've run jobs and you guys have character arcs and backgrounds, like, it'd be safe to say you could find someone to guard your ship for a bit if you needed, like, everyone off the boat. Just gonna look over the...
If not, I have 20 gold.
Yeah.
Just offer people 5 gold to just stay on the ship and do nothing.
That 5 gold saved my life in that other campaign. Yeah.
I love the way that the economy turned out, because it was so bad for so long. It was so bad for so long, and now it's actually good, and it feels like a win, because, like...
Yeah. Like, legitimately, Will was like, I'm going to put you in a situation where your character will perish. And I said, okay, but you've also given me access to a mercenary band, and I have been just making and selling potions nonstop. Like, I have enough funds to hire them to transport me safely to where I'm going. Like, I have 5 bodyguards now for the next week.
And the difference between the early versions of Bloodwine before we were streaming and this one now is that, like, this thing that happened, like, earlier this week in the campaign was, like, you know, you'd been doing this for several in-game months, whereas the other campaign, it was like you could spend an afternoon making that much money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the best thing is, I was thinking like, oh man, we should do like a throwback thing where we go back to like some of the older versions of Bloodwine and just do like one shots. But literally, the stream would be us like taking 20 dice and going, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
That would be a really entertaining stream, though. I don't know if it would be entertaining for an audience, but like
It would be amusing for us.
All right, so let's get to it. As it stands, you guys have you don't have a blueprint of the place. You just basically have like public access city maps. The city of Riverbend in particular is it's a place that used to be a very large city, and it was one of the last places to be evacuated during a calamity a couple centuries ago. And since then, people have come in to resettle, but it's never grown to its full size. So for a long time, if you come here and you want to live a place, you can basically pick a condemned house and try to refurb it. So it's very easy around here to just be like, here's a map of this quarter of the city, and then like someone will check something and go, and these ones are available. This one you're gonna have to demolish if you want to live there, so don't pick that one, that kind of stuff.
Yikes.
So one of those currently is spread out over your table. In addition to that, there are some rudimentary notes that were passed on. The schedules change every like little while depending on what the situation is on the ground for these people. Usually it's every couple months. You have something that's just like a week old or so that tells you more or less when there are going to be shipments and some limited information about them. But you guys are in the city, so you can investigate further. Let's talk about resources and what you're able to commit to this, but also why you're there and what you want to get.
Well, yeah, I mean, before we get started, that's not a bad question to ask. What sorts of things can we expect out of this repository?
Well, in general, the Imperial Repository is where ships go to like stock up, arm their soldiers, pick up people, like restock between voyages. So it's expected that this thing has everything from cannonballs to weapons to like bulk ship parts to just bulk payroll. Let me double check these. Looking over the list you have, the first shipment to come in during the day is at 8 a.m. It's not a very heavily guarded shipment, and it's suspected to be water because it comes in like these big metallic tanks. There's a couple of wagons that come down.
Yeah.
The next one's at 9 a.m., which is a like locked and guarded wagon, not excessively heavy, just like a couple of guards with one wagon that will come by and drop some things off. That one comes from a tailor.
Probably uniforms and whatnot.
Uniforms, cloth, the usual.
At 11 a.m., there is a delivery that's like a long convoy that's not heavily guarded, especially for its size. And you can see, because it's the kind of stuff that you wouldn't be able to easily hide, that's all just like sails and ship timber.
All right.
At 12 a.m., or sorry, at noon, there's like two shipments that come in at once, and these are both quite heavily armed. One of them comes by riverboat. The other one comes from like an arms and armor specialist in the city.
Well, I wouldn't mind getting my hands on
A competitor, you say?
well, you know, I like to think that healthy competition breeds better bombs, but wouldn't mind getting my hands on some powder and you know, some of the Imperial's munitions, see what I'm up against.
There's also at 3 p.m. a shipment that's very lightly like protected that you presume to be like a ration shipment. They make multiple stops with multiple wagons, pick up stuff from like a butcher and a grocer, that kind of thing.
Personally,
Well,
never served in the military, but I imagine their rations are nothing to write home about.
Depends. It depends who's getting the rations, I suppose.
More or less. There might be something nice for like a captain or something like that, a few extra spices, but a lot of the time it's going to be kind of gunky standard fare, just like salt pork and some biscuits, and maybe if you're lucky you get molasses like one day a week.
Now, there wouldn't be any of them that are transporting like dwarf tech, eh?
Nothing that you would know about, and they wouldn't be bringing that kind of bulk stuff into the repository.
Right.
Do know that there's one remaining thing, which is an armored wagon heavily guarded that comes from a printing works at 5 p.m.
Heavily armored. Printed.
Imperial notes?
Sounds like it to me. I mean, it's either that or, I suppose, some sort of legal documentation that needs to be kept under lock and key. Well, I mean, now I'm no revolutionary or nothing, but so long as we are inconveniencing the Empire, might as well inconvenience them to the fullest extent of our abilities, eh?
Yeah.
So what are the chances that this here wagon is it's the most heavily guarded? Probably got some pretty good stuff in there, I bet.
You get a more or less enthused nod from everyone at the table.
So, I mean, my vote is we hit that munitions boat and the armored wagon if there's time, but y'all might have other priorities.
They come at different times of the day.
That does put a wrinkle on things.
And won't they be kind of tracking the IDs on those bank, like if they are banknotes? If we just steal them, it'll be hard to use, won't it?
Well, I'm sure they'll try, but I mean, we got friends in low places, don't we?
That's true.
All right, what do you want to do next? Plot next.
Well,
I think the munitions. My vote is munitions. Munitions ship is what we should go after. Because it's earlier in the day by like a few hours, isn't it?
It is
Yeah, by the
worth
looks of
saying
things.
that all of this happens in the city during the daytime, every single one of these. This is a central building that's there day and night.
So we would have to go through the city with whatever we take out, too.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, true. What we could do is just go in at night and kind of raid the place.
Now there's an idea. Let's sort of thinking outside the shell.
Yeah, like once, at the end of the day, everybody's gone to sleep.
We sneak in. Now, I mean, obviously not everyone. There's going to be a night shift.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I mean, we could avoid the night shift at least part of the way if we sneak in during the day and find a reason to stay until after they leave. Find a spot to stay after they leave.
They'll be walking around, though.
well,
They won't just be on the outside of the building.
no, there'll definitely be some folks inside of the building, but we ain't no cowards. We can head in.
We could dispose of them. I mean, if we had like more plans, like if we knew more about the building, we could probably guess where there's going to be guards.
Well, that might not be a bad plan then. Do a bit of reconnaissance.
Yeah, I mean, we could always go a day before.
Does anyone in the clown crew have like any sort of plans or any knowledge of what the place we're raiding is going to be?
Well, they were able to inform you that it's a 3-story building. Part of it isn't like fully enclosed; it's just fenced. It also has like water access for the riverboat that comes in. There's multiple street level access points nearby. It might not hurt to go and like walk by the place at least once. All it would take is unrafting, sending a few people into the city, and then going for a walk.
That sounds like a nice afternoon.
Yeah. I mean, definitely worthwhile to do.
Well, that sounds like the next order of business then is to head into town, see what we can find out about this place, and figure out our plan. Because if we're planning to just go in when it's, go in the daytime, stay after dark, night in the museum style, because then we can just grab everything that we want and need,
Yeah.
and then just get out. That sounds to me like the plan. Sounds to me like the plan is to get in real sneaky, dispose of any guards, without letting them alert anybody, and take what we want,
Yeah.
All right, who's gonna go to shore to scope this place out?
I'll go.
I'll go.
I'm gonna stay back.
Okay.
All right, are you guys taking any NPCs with you? At least a couple of people need to work the ropes and stuff like that.
Yeah. Which of the clowns seems like the most sort of logistically minded?
So, in terms of the clowns, you have Beanie, who does a little bit of alchemy. You have Ropes, who's like the backstage guy who does pulleys and contraptions.
Yeah.
And then from there, even though they have different kind of personas in the clown act, Meanie the clown, of course, is a big old bruising type. And Greenie the clown is like an army infiltrator kind of dude.
Probably that guy.
That guy sounds like the one, yeah.
And maybe one more person from our group.
Tiana?
Tiana, perhaps?
Tiana would be a good pick.
The five of you make your way onto the Bilgewater and unraft.
Four.
You
Four
ain't-
of us.
Right, of course, because Croakville isn't with you.
Yeah.
From there, you wait for the right moment. You cut through the highway and then, go towards the port where the ships are kind of slowing up. You follow a little ways until there's an open one. Quickly, flip up your port pass, and begrudgingly they let you through without an inspection. Otto boots up to life as you guys get off of the boat and gives kind of an angry noise to a couple of the guards nearby, who give the ship an up and down as you leave, but kind of start walking away.
That's my son. He hates authority.
All right. So you guys are in town. You're aware that this is along the river, and there's one big river that it's very easy to follow. So once you go across a couple of streets, you're able to follow it a little ways until you see what is unmistakably your building. It's a massive industrial, warehouse kind of thing. Just a massive box, big flat windows. Why don't all of you guys give a roll? And Ken, so Croco can participate. Do you want to play as Tiana and Greenie at the same time?
Nope. I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna sit back
Okay.
on this one. Croakwill's doing stuff
Fine.
on the ship. Croakwill
Okay.
has a plan that is going to surprise them when they get back.
Oh boy!
Okay. In that case, as you guys make your way up, you can see Greenie and Tiana give the place the up and down. Tiana points out there's a blind alley across from one of the doors that's from the alley to the door is about 3 to 4 meters. You could probably bum rush someone before they could alert someone, but you would have to be fast and hard. From there, a little ways up on the same side of the building, but a little ways further, you can see there's a newspaper stand, and you could probably jump from the walls of the fence across the street to the newspaper stand and land safely. You need
Okay.
another way in, though. Do both of you want to give me a roll for what you're using to assess this place?
I am using my munitions roll to. Now, this is maybe a stretch, but a big part of designing munitions is designing munitions to go through things.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at are there any doors that seem particularly susceptible to being blown out of their hinges? Are there any walls that seem a little too thin? I'm looking for structural weaknesses that I could blow up, essentially.
All right, go for it.
And I got 18 plus 3 is 20.
I'm doing a smuggler roll.
Excuse me. What was your roll there, son?
21. What was your roll
All right.
there, son?
How's it going there, kid? Stolen. All right, so you give this place the up and down. First and foremost, the warehouse itself, the entire first floor, and then halfway up to the second floor windows is stone, and you can see based on the arching that this is explicitly like fortified. This is not going to be. It's not going to be something you can blow through.
Okay.
You could, but like you'd have to build something meant to blow through like explosive proof walls, and that would take like half the block and make enough noise to like alert everyone in town. The doors on the warehouse side are all similarly like reinforced like iron. They're not even like iron barred. You can see they're actually iron plated, which must have been really expensive.
Oh my god.
At this point, as I'm going to keep going with your description, so if I forget, do remind me, because there's important stuff. All I did was like tell you the strongest bits. This thing isn't like just an entire fucking castle. There's weak points.
For sure.
But as you're looking at the gates, Jane, you snap and get everyone, you just kind of motion and look as they're opening the gate for one of the convoys to go through. You guys tell me, I'll say that luck is with you. Which of these shipments would you want to see come in?
The ones with the... Yeah.
The guns.
Guns.
All right. You hear a bell on the far side. As this is happening, there's like a knock. You can see someone come from a side door that's like, I don't want to say it's like embedded in the wall, but like, you know, in like big castle walls, how like they have the big main gates and then they'll have a little cutout door so you don't have to open it the entire time if someone just comes out to give a message.
Mm-hmm.
So that thing opens, there's a guard that mumbles something, they close it, and then you hear the sound of winches, and even with the winches, you can see the guards are like assisting the door and trying to shove it open. This thing, for all of its security, is really hard to open and close. Whether that be to your benefit or your detriment. So, because of the fact that this is the like arms and armor shipment, this is happening at the same time that the riverboat is coming in with the cannonballs and powder. All of the guards are on high alert. From here, you can see that there's like one armored wagon with like a bunch of people guarding it. This one seems to be blast proof, so there must be something that blows up inside of that.
Makes sense.
After a little while, you can hear like a lot of hubbub, and this is what kind of draws you to the far side of the compound. Here in this fenced area, this is like a 2-story fence. This is only fenced so that like air can go through from the outside to keep things windy and nice. Otherwise, they don't want people in here, and they have made sure you can't jump over this thing. It's a big challenge. You can figure it out.
Yeah.
At this point, you notice that these walls are like there's big just kind of like planks set up, and you can see based on where the nails are that these are probably reinforced more significantly from the inside, but they don't look that great. In addition to that, an additional level of security was put on the outside. It's like a primitive chain fencing. It's weird that it just starts here, but it's where the stone stops, so they must be trying to reinforce this side. The gates that would be opening on this side that don't open right now are just big, heavy wooden gates. Based on the construction, it looks like they just have one central kind of big, heavy thing that you have to lift up, and then you push the entire gate kind of thing.
Okay.
It looks like they have a very significant, like, it's not just dock workers that come in, like all the soldiers are mobilized to quickly unload like the cannon and powder boat before the bell rings again and it sails off. From here, you can see that this thing's not far from the locks that like lower the ships down to sea level. Here, this is on the river side of the locks, and there's some locks further up in town. It takes not very long, just a couple of minutes for this thing to sink down to the right level, and then the gates open and it sails off.
So this really is just a fortress here. This is
Sure
like,
is.
oh boy.
We sure we want to attack this place?
Well, do really want those munitions.
I mean,
Yeah.
it does seem like the next step up for us in terms of fucking with the Empire.
Yeah.
We blew up some ships. blew up some bigger ships. Like
Time to blow up
ink,
some buildings.
ink bombed the Empress.
Yeah.
In our series of crimes, it does seem to be the step up from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Should we continue with Gabe's role, or should I go with my role?
That was the end
Okay.
of Gabe's role, was mentioning how the fortifications change on the fence side.
Okay.
You were the one who noticed the shipment coming in.
Right.
At this point, like, you guys can keep rolling. You can keep investigating with different skills. You have time, and not too many people have noticed you sniffing around yet. Tiana's the one who actually is the first to point this out. She takes a small chronometer. It must have been a really expensive item, or made by Kennedy or something, because these things are difficult to make. She looks down, kind of quietly mumbles to all of you that it's been 5 minutes and nobody's come out to talk to you yet.
Okay.
Are they that
Greeny-
confident?
Greeny points at the height of the fence and then the height to the ceiling, and kind of mumbles that, if you had a rope, you could probably tie, a grappling hook and then get another section of rope over. You might have to take it down so that you don't get caught, but it would mean that, you could still get through that wall quickly enough.
Okay.
Give me some
Um,
rolls.
So what are... Man, I should have really been writing this down or something. What are our options in terms of ways that we could possibly get in? We could try to climb the fence.
We're trying to climb the
Grappling
fence.
Slightly shorter than the fence, there's second story and third story windows in the factory section.
There is
Okay.
an alleyway that Tiana noticed that we could get down quick. If we were quick enough, we could probably get down and hit a guard kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which, with your sniper, might actually be a decent entry point. Because we don't have
Yeah.
to worry about being quick, and you'll definitely hit them hard. But if there's two,
Yeah.
then we have to worry.
Or hit two people hard, right?
I do like the idea of just popping in through a window.
Yeah, we could pop in through a window. We could also... My immediate thought is this is a place where they open and close for ships. We could just steal a ship. Intercept it,
Are the
That's
ships
true.
of any particular note? Are they very obviously Imperial ships?
They are all specifically Imperial ships.
Gotcha.
Which, I mean, this would be the second Imperial ship you've stolen?
Yeah, we could do it. We have,
Well,
we
yeah.
have the technology. We have the skills.
But they don't stay for very long, right? They just they stop in, drop off their stuff, and leave.
Yeah, exactly. We'd be the stuff that they drop off. If we steal a ship, then we have a reason to be inside there. Then all we have to do is find a place or a reason to stay after the guard shift ends.
You almost said after class.
Well, yeah. Okay. Call me out, why don't you?
You're sneaking into school. Gonna change
Sneaking
your
into
grades.
school.
Right.
It's an option, is all I'm saying.
That the problem is we don't have anybody that's good at social in our group.
Hey,
We have clowns that perform for a living.
just
That's
because I
true.
keep fucking it up because I get angry doesn't mean my character actually is bad at social.
Yeah.
Greeny nods at the comment from Jane, goes, "Me and the boys, we could take care of it. Put on a good accent, put on the right face. We could do it."
Okay.
I'm just, how do I put it? Things are gonna go, okay, I'll do it in character. Things are gonna go wrong, but I feel like the closer we are to our goal when things go wrong, the more likely we are to succeed. If we try and break in through a window and we're caught, then we're caught at the window. But if
Right.
if we are sneaking in with a boat and we get caught, I don't know. I mean, we're like in a boat, you know.
Tiana juts in and goes, "We got 11 people in this crew. We can do a couple things at once."
That's true. I'm thinking if we go in and just be like, hey, yeah, we're, Imperial guards. Don't worry about us. We're just gonna stay here. We're putting our cards on the table, you know?
Okay, well, what if? So hear me out, right? You have guards, and it's not always the same guards. What if when the new guards come in for the night shift, we were the guards they met?
Wouldn't they know who's on shift for that night?
Yeah, but we just tell them, oh no, it's us. You get to go home, have a drink.
You have 2 shapeshifters in your crew, and the clown people could probably put together a disguise.
Right.
True.
I mean, we don't have to go with that. If you want to just hop through it, I'm thinking logistics.
Yeah.
As the one sort of designated with the big arms, I'm gonna be the one carrying anything that we try and drag out. And if we could sort of swing it so that we have a whole ass boat to load up when we leave this joint, that'd make my arms a lot less sore.
I don't, because this place is going to close down at night, right? No boats are going to be able to get in and out.
Well, that's actually a good question. How many people does it look like guard this place? Like, what's the guard staff? Are we talking like 100 people? 20 people?
So you see 2 per door. Looking up, occasionally glancing from the windows, it looks like along each side of like a given wall, you're able to see maybe 3-4 guards walking through the hallways. Based on the way things went going inside, when the door opened, like someone was able to come through the little door, so at least one person's on the inside of the door at any given time. And each of those shipments was guarded by like 10 people.
Okay.
This place is going to be swarming. That being said, it's also massive. So like, there's a difference between 10 people in a small room and 10 people in a gym. You could probably sneak past stuff, especially when you looked inside. Everything that was there was like Indiana Jones style, like pallets on boxes on boxes, and racks, like different sizes, different shapes.
So here's what I'm thinking. We have people in this party that can shapeshift. If we can get a shapeshift into sort of a superior officer, we might not even need to blow up nothing. We might be able to just come in, say, "Oh, howdy."
Ideally,
new shipment going
the
out.
way that this goes is we go in, we get the stuff, we leave, and they didn't even know we were there until they do stock like a few days later, you know? That's kind of what I want from this. But, if we have to kill a couple people, that's fine too. But I want it to be sneaky,
Sneaky.
Right. The subtlety that our team does so well.
I'm not so sure that I'm good at sneaky. But well,
I was just saying, it's going to be hard to run out of this city with like 100 people chasing us,
not if we have a boat.
That's true.
And especially not if we have our boat. Which we won't have, but I'm just...
Do boats ever stay after, like, overnight in the... Probably not, eh?
You see some guards starting to eye you, so you have to leave the area to not get, harassed or ask too many questions.
Mm-hmm.
As you're walking, across a bridge past the ship locks, and, a little bit along the river on the far side, you can see the, river side of the building. Here, there's one section, there's docks that go the whole way. Like more than one ship will be here at a given time, but there is one big set of like ship, like dry docks, like you were just in last session. So some
Okay.
ships will come in there for an extended period of time for refits or for extended cleaning or repainting.
Okay.
Just had a thought. I wonder how many like Imperial soldiers we have actually killed throughout this campaign.
Oh, many.
Cause like that was a long time in between guards, and it's just like, are they short-staffed? Like they have this massive fucking empire that they have to spread their troops out in order to maintain control, and we just keep going through and being like, kill some here, kill some here,
Kills
kill
there. Yeah, well,
And it's in that distinctly naval warfare sense where it's like, if anyone's able to survive to tell the tale, they're all fine. If anything bad happened that would get reported, the ship's just gone. Like, it's binary.
Yeah.
that binary state. Well, if this were my operation, the way I would plan it is I would go in, I would hand them a document that says we need a shit ton of gunpowder. We're going to go supply the front. They give us the gunpowder. We say, oh, yeah, by the way, we need gold. They give us the gold. If anyone gets suspicious, oh, what's this? It's the superior commander here to whip them into shape. And we sail the hell out of there.
It's not a bad plan. Like, what if we get one of our shapeshifters to take the spot of, like, a superior officer? And then, like, whoever's going to be watching over, like, exports. So we have somebody on the inside that's on our team. Maybe even
Right.
2 people. We have 2 shapeshifters. So 2 people already on the inside. We come in with the fake documents and whatever. We all have to steal a boat. Say, hey, we need gold and gunpowder. If anybody's suspicious, the superior officer can just be like, oh no, I got, you know, a letter earlier saying that this shipment was going to come through. You know?
The old, yeah, if someone on the inside for that plan is crucial.
Yeah.
But we'll make out like bandits because we won't have to be running. We won't have to be fighting. And by the time that, you know, someone else comes looking for that, hell, in the records, it's just going to be this big. They won't even notice it as a discrepancy.
Yeah.
They're just gonna wonder. There's not even gonna be a crime to report.
Yeah.
If we have a forged document that says, "Hey, we need this," some bookkeeper's gonna say, "Yeah, big commander boy said to take this." The only way that's ever gonna get found out is if big commander boy specifically, who we've probably already killed, is asked, "Hey, did you take this thing?"
Yeah.
So the only problem is we've turned our heist into sort of an assassination of a high enough ranking general to pull it off.
It depends if a high-ranking general is the one that watches over these things, right? Like, we just need whoever's in charge of specifically sending out resources, right?
You're right. No, you're right, because we don't need a letter from high command. They can just say this is a letter from high command.
Yeah, they can just say, "I got a letter from high command." They don't have to actually have the letter.
Man. Those poor shapeshifters that are listening to this conversation and they're like, man, there's a lot riding on us.
Yeah.
All right, so current idea is steal an Imperial ship, sail it in, have people already on the inside, so they need to be inserted but also extracted. Have someone impersonating someone of sufficient repute with a forged document telling them to just load whatever you're looking to get onto the ship, and then you sail off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds about right to me.
Okay, that could be plan number 1, maybe. Like, let's just put it on the back burner for
All right,
now.
back burner that plan.
You hear a bell going off. Not like the dock bell, but like a time bell inside of the city. across the way, overlooking the what was I going to say? Overlooking like this whole area, just a little bit behind you, there's the steeple of like a temple that's been built here.
I think plan that I personally, Jane, would be more comfortable with is just straight up infiltrating the place.
Yep.
You know? We go in at night, we take some stuff, and we leave.
Mm-hmm.
But we probably would get less out of it that way. Because we can't just physically carry stuff.
Well, it depends what you're after. I mean, if we're going all this trouble, it better be a damn good haul.
Well, the other thing is, if you bring the ship in, they would be stocking a ship. Like, if you were just like, all right, load 12 pallets of gold on, they would probably still be like, okay, we're going to actually check with the person who sent that note. But if it's just like, hey, slight change, it's actually like 3 barrels of rations instead of 2. Like, that's the amount you could get away with by bringing a ship in. If you were to infiltrate, then it's about what you can carry or what you can store somewhere. So you still need to think about how you're getting stuff out of here.
All right. Well, let's say we don't send in a ship. So the options as I see them: number 1, kill every single person inside, clean up the mess after.
I like it.
That one is probably a little unrealistic. Option number 2, I guess that one's more of like a corporate theft, sort of theft that you would just pull off if you were a high-ranking official and wanted some more supplies. That one we need someone inside. Option number 3 is just clep it, you know, sneak in, sneak out. And I guess option number 4.
No subtlety, grab everything.
Well, no, I'm thinking option
Oh,
number 4.
and guns blazing.
What if there was a way to make this a longer scheme? What if there was a way that we could sort of skim a little bit from each shipment?
How so?
Well, I mean, if we have someone on the inside working, unloading ships, what if we had somewhere where maybe a crate or 2 ends up somewhere weird? And then late at night, we go to that place and take it. And rinse, repeat till they get suspicious.
Both of the people with you get kind of nervous. If you're going here, you want to be in and out once. You don't want to be coming back.
Yeah.
All right. I was just spitballing. I'm gonna turn on my light so you can actually see me. Hang on.
What is Crookwell doing right now?
Croquill is working on a fake ID for Sun. It's a
Okay.
senior munitions inspector. So was that... I forget the last time I made a fake ID. Was that ritual?
I think... Didn't you have, like, a forgery skill?
No.
Right, that's what it was. It was ritual so that, like, you don't actually write anything. You just enchant the paper so that they think that they saw what they think they're seeing.
Yes. And so I've been working steadily on that, trying to make it as like masterful as possible. This one, like, I probably could be making multiple IDs in this time frame, but I'm making like this one just look as good as possible. All my focus is on this one ID.
Yo, holy shit. I had out of obviously we haven't seen what you're working on, but as you're rolling there, what if excuse me, what if they had a recall of munitions? What if some munitions were made that shouldn't have been made, that need to be recalled?
Greeny
Okay.
nods in response to that. I've seen it happen.
Will, I rolled really bad. Can I boon myself retroactively?
What's the roll out of curiosity?
I rolled 2 1s, a 2, and a 3.
What's the roll though?
So the total roll is a 17.
think you got to take the 17. When you say it's 2 1s and a 2, it feels bad, but that's still a 17.
But that's only because I have a +10.
You also are saying that like you've been working this over for a while. So like we could say that it's like crafting an object and you have to add things to it bit by bit.
Fine. Fine.
Just off to a bad start, I guess.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens, you know. Usually when it's munitions, off to a bad start means you explode, but hey, to each his own.
Yeah, so we could do like send like an official letter of recall for a particular thing.
Yeah.
And then have just like, okay, all these things, like there's going to be a ship that comes by tomorrow to pick up that stuff.
Yeah. Have it ready to go.
Have it ready to go.
It's worth mentioning when it comes to the forgery stuff, a lot of this stuff has to be almost done as a magic trick. You can't just make an object and leave it there unless you go to an outside source to actually like make a detailed and concise forgery.
Mhm.
Like the whole thing with Crowquill's Gambit is someone is just like, this is me, and it relies on you kind of fluffing it a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It relies on the person accepting the ID more so than the ID passing it as a lie. Or yeah, convincing them of the lie.
So you could do the note gambit if someone was still carrying it and like made their way in to tell someone. Kind of like, here, see here, this is where it says, and then you put the note away, and they're like, yeah, I think I saw that.
Okay. I'm so, like I'm hesitant to do anything that requires too much interaction with the people inside.
Well,
Because our group fails every social check.
Yeah. We always fail every social check and then end up having to just shoot everybody. Don't know why that happens. Happens every time.
you say you don't know why it happens.
Yeah.
It's because I'm the face of the group. And
Yeah.
I get really impatient.
So let's maybe step away from that idea.
Just for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Jane, why doesn't Jane pitch something?
I pitched the last two.
I would also like to say that every single time we've done a social interaction, Will's character has just been yelling at me the entire fucking time and basically manhandling me. So I don't really feel like there's a win for the social interaction on that one.
Well, I feel like that's kind of you put the cart before the horse. Like, it's more that every single time you've mandated a social role, it's when you're trying not to get arrested.
Yeah, he's got you there.
You're not wrong. It's just whenever an Imperial sees me, they want to arrest me, and I don't know why. No idea why.
Man, who fucking knows?
Who could say why they would want to arrest any of us, really?
Yeah.
We're good law-abiding citizens, right, son?
I am. I don't know about the rest of you clowns. No offense.
What's the status of the plan here? What needs to be worked out?
Still the plan. Like we don't even have a plan yet. We're just running through ideas. I don't know. I think we should do a classic style: run in, shoot some dudes, take some stuff, leave.
All right.
I like the recall plan.
I like the recall plan too, but
we would need to steal a ship for the recall plan.
not necessarily. Well,
I like the recall plan.
yeah, we would have to steal a ship, but I mean, is stealing a ship really that much worse than running in and trying to kill a bunch of guards?
There's also 11 of you. You could do multiple plans at once. Help divert attention. You could even have a decoy plan that's meant to fail, but like your failure has like an exit route so everyone can get out.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
that's true.
There's
In
a
fact-
lot of layers to this.
Depending on how you plan this, you could even have something where everyone else is doing stuff outside or diverting attention, and there's only one person in there going, "Don't look, don't look, don't look, oop, oop, don't look."
So there's a
Otherwise,
lot
put
of
this together.
there's a lot of layers to this, but if there was a way for us to run in, attack everybody, the munitions that they have are faulty, and then we come in to take away their faulty munitions. Like, if we infiltrated, oh my god, this is too complicated. Never mind.
So we
But it would be like-
infiltrate, swap out their munitions with something fake, and then have an attack
Yeah,
where all of their weapons fail,
yeah.
and we don't just immediately take advantage of it, but instead we come back the next day.
No, we take advantage of it. We're taking advantage of it. It's just we come back to get the rest of the munitions that we didn't have time to grab the first time around.
Oh yeah, that's a solid plan.
Okay, you hate my plan.
No.
It's okay.
I just love that we make their munitions faulty so that they like misfire, whatever. But we don't
Yeah.
just immediately storm the place and kill everyone.
That's what we do. I'm telling you, that's what we do. But then we come back for the survivors and say, "Hey, we'll take those faulty munitions off your hands."
We here at Canonier and Son pride ourselves with the ability to take something that's worthless, say your munitions, and turn it into something that will be the pride of the Empire.
Yeah, hi, Kananye and Son. We're your official Imperial sanctioned contractors. We're here to fix all of your shitty guns. Then we unshit them, and they pay us. And that one's just like sort of giving ourselves a job, I think. Instead of a big heist, that's just working for the Empire, actually. Hey, have we considered just like enlisting with the Empire? That might be a good way to get access.
Oh yeah, because they'll love me. I'm pretty sure the only person that they'd actually accept is Tiana and Jane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's only if they don't know that Tiana is married to Kanye.
Yeah.
That's true. Probably just me.
It's probably just you.
All right. Well, it looks like Jane is going to be the one to infiltrate.
Hmm.
They would love Jane. They would eat Jane up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
A competent
That sounds
police
deeply
officer.
sinister.
Well,
Oh, a competent Imperial soldier for once. Oh no, what are they gonna do?
we've talked about the army and the military. Well, we haven't. I think we've all just sort of had that telepathic understanding about the military before.
Yeah.
So you guys, let's recap what we're going through. We're on a tangent while we're also like floating a lot of details, so I don't want them to slip through. So storming in, how, when, with whom. Same thing with like the gunpowder recall, when, how, and with whom.
I don't like the gunpowder recall plan.
Explain.
I am worried about the having to interact with the soldiers part of the plan.
I see. You hear that, clowns? She doesn't think you're up to it.
It's like the thing is we're gonna have to interact with them multiple times to tell them about the recall.
Yeah.
Second, to bring in a stolen ship.
Right.
Where are you guys while you're discussing this plan? While you're discussing your
I-
We're walking
wanna-
back to the boat, I'm sure.
I want to say that this is like a we all know we're playing a game moment where we can all do the plan even though people are in different places.
Yeah, but Gabe hasn't seen my thing and he doesn't know what it is because he was turning on his light when I said it.
Tactical.
Yeah, there was a reason.
Flashbang. Wait, what?
So I'm assuming you guys have probably come back to the ship by now because you kind of
Yeah.
had to walk away from the thing.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, we could say that we're back to the ship.
So when you get back, Krokel's gonna emerge looking a little bit proud of herself, and she's gonna walk up to Sun and just go like, "I think I have an idea," and it's just like, "You're gonna need some better clothes, probably."
Oh, what's wrong with
and
that?
She hands you a piece of paper that, because I rolled so low, it's an ID that says Senior Weapon Inspector. And it has a like picture of you, but it looks like a Picasso, and it says Blaring Sun, Senior Weapons Inspector.
I think I see where you're going with this.
All right, so you're looking at this thing, and at first you see a flawless ID, and then you blink and you see that it's Senor, and then you're looking at the N with a little squiggle, and it starts to move, and then you look back and the eyes are in the wrong place, and then you kind of blink and you're holding a piece of paper with like misspelled words in crayon.
Well, I think it's gonna need some work, but the idea has promise. And let's go check in with Jane, see what she thinks of this plan.
Because like my idea is, we send Gabe and crew inside with as like the munitions inspection for that load, and then the idea for that is they're expected to go out at a certain time, right? Like it's expected to leave at a certain time, so we have the ship
Right.
come in for that at the same time that the evening armored car would get here. So what we would end up doing is, as we're loading up the munitions, we have a diversion force attack, and then while the diversion force is causing a diversion, we try and steal the other thing and leave. Otherwise we just get out with munitions.
Okay.
So the boat and the armor shipment come at noon. The armored wagon from the printers comes at 5 p.m.
Do you think you can talk about ammunition for 5 hours?
Well, no, that depends. Are we talking about large-scale ship munitions? Are we talking about
Minus
small?
time it would take to get the ship in and load it onto the ship.
Yeah, I could probably filibuster for a couple hours if I had to. Don't know if anyone would listen. You lot sure as hell don't.
Is this on the stolen ship or the Bilgewater? Or...
It would be on stolen.
So if you stole a ship, they would also have to not report it for that length of time.
Yeah.
I can't report it if they're dead.
Yeah, just kill everybody on the ship and take it. Bury them in a hole somewhere.
Free uniforms as well.
Yeah.
Doubles up.
I mean, they also can't report it if they're taken prisoner or tied up or I don't know.
Being threatened by a giant crab creature.
Croquill, do circuses ever have use for like a person, like an expandable sort of person?
An expandable sort of person.
Expandable.
Oh, expendable.
Expandable.
I mean, no.
I mean, you're not supposed to say it, but also kind of everyone.
Yeah, like, you know, Ropes does his job and keeps everyone alive. And everyone tries not to fuck up the routine.
Okay, I like this plan that we're working on. I want to be part of the Heiston group. I don't want to be part of the
Diversion group?
Oh no, sorry. I want to be part of the diversion group. I don't want to be part of the stealing the ship and talking to the dudes group.
That's probably a good idea. You can do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
All right, so then first thing to happen is you guys are stealing a random boat, or are you stealing the munition shipment?
Oh, I thought we were stealing a random boat. If we're just stealing the
so you're
munitions
you're coming in on a random boat and then going, oh, we need you to give these munitions back because they're... So this could just be like after the boat has come and gone, so it doesn't have to be a full 5-hour gap. It could be closer and thinner.
Yeah, that was my understanding, Ken.
Yeah,
Okay.
fair enough.
I mean, I'm asking.
Yeah, like it would be ship that we've stolen comes in, that we say these are defective, this ship, we're gonna take them, and all of that.
Oh, so this is still the recall plan.
It's not really the recall plan, because the recall plan we don't say like, oh, this is what's going to happen. My plan is to try and frame the Soth incident as faulty munitions.
Ooh.
As a
Okay.
faulty munitions incident, which sounds exactly what the Empire would try and frame it as to me.
Oh.
And so we then have it come back and just as we are inspecting we are doing an official inspection on all munitions. And then we go, this batch is bad, we're taking it away. And we take it away.
Oh, I like that plan. I like that plan a lot. So we don't... That's a great plan, because it doesn't matter what ship we come in on. We don't even have to come in on a goddamn ship.
Yeah,
We could just walk up to the front door and say this. But if we come in and on the munitions ship, it does lend a certain amount of legitimacy.
Yeah.
Right? So we could still say we're going to steal the ship, the shipment, and then go
We should
in.
look into how difficult it would be to steal the munitions ship first. Because I have a feeling...
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I have a feeling that's going to be quite a
All
quite
right,
a
so
thing.
we're gonna take our tiny little thing and we're gonna board a ship full of like 100 people and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well, so it is a riverboat. It can't be that big. It's more wide than anything else. But it is crewed by maybe like a dozen people, so you would need most of your crew to pose there unless you were able to coerce the people on board or infiltrate so that they don't even know you're on board.
Or hire people.
Do you
Well,
want to
hang
hire
on.
outside help to hit the repository?
Hang on. I have a
No,
thought.
not really.
If we're going to pull this off once, why don't we just pull it off twice?
Dude, you're a gambling man there, sir.
We work our way up. We steal a small Imperial rowboat. We row out to the incoming munitions boat. We say, hey, we need to do a munitions inspection. And then say, this shit sucks. But if you're going there anyway, we need to go there. Can we hitch a ride with you? Now we have a whole crew of people that are already bought into our lie, that are all going to validate what we say is true to the people at the repository.
So you're saying we double down as the munition inspector rowing out to the munitions boat and go
And then
in there.
we have a ship full of munitions and 2 of us versus 12 soldiers. But we got it out. The important part is we got the boat out of the thing full of gunpowder. Now it's the tricky part of actually stealing it. Okay, maybe that plan wasn't great. But you guys are following for a bit, right?
I like the 2 versus 12. I like those odds.
Yeah,
Those are good odds.
Well,
Trouble is we poked apart our plans. And genuinely, like, Jane's plan of we just go in at night and try and stealth our way through the situation probably would be the best, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure the only people capable of doing that is, like, Greenie, Tiana, and Jane.
Well,
Everyone
okay,
else is
so
just kind of there.
Greenie, Tiana, and Jane are going to be the distraction group, right?
We would definitely need probably Meanie in our group to help load stuff if we end up needing to haul shit.
Yeah.
Since it's unlikely for other people to Rutger and Bilgy to be accepted as Imperial people, they're either going to need to be disguised or with you guys.
Now,
Those are those are our shapeshifters, though.
Yeah, those are our shapeshifters.
They can just be somebody else.
Yeah, they can just be someone
no,
else.
I'm not saying no to the plan of just going in there and taking everything.
Yeah.
But you know who makes a really easy target? A repository who's just had to recall all of their munitions.
Can we get like one heist done first before planning the second one?
No. What I'm saying is,
Okay, take the recall plan, put it aside, pretend it doesn't exist for the rest of planning.
just hang on. Hear me out. We don't steal the munitions. We just say you have to recall all these, send them to this port. They'll exchange it for good ones. And they're gone. This place doesn't have any munitions when we attack.
They'd have a basic amount of munitions.
You're
Would
okay.
keep-
You're right. Okay.
I feel like you guys are also generalizing munitions as just like, oh, these would be good for dealing damage, whereas like some of it's entire barrels of powder for boats, some of it is like, you know,
And
bulk
also, who's
shot.
to say that they couldn't just go to a store and buy from the store?
All right. All right. Jane, continue with your plan. I'll drop the recall plan.
What dropping it? We're setting it aside.
We're setting it aside.
We're mulling it over.
All right.
Yeah, it's Ken's plan. I'm thinking of Ken's plan, where we come in on a ship.
Like, then we have diversion, and then we're able to grab the second. Because that's grabbing everything if we're able to. And if it's not, we're at least grabbing the munitions.
Yeah.
So you guys steal an Imperial ship, sail your way in, get loaded up, and that's when the distraction keys in. You take the opportunity to just haul shit into the boat and then try to get out without getting caught.
Yeah. I guess. It's kind of like thrown together, isn't it?
Well, it's this or one of my plans, which are like aggressively that picture of the sandwich that's like an entire loaf of bread cut in half with 2 pieces of ham and cheese in there. That's my plan. It's like, well, you know what makes a good sandwich is bread, so we need lots of it.
So how about we just keep coming back every day and gradually stealing 1 barrel of munitions?
It's important to note that for that plan, we'd have to get a job there.
Yeah.
This is just the meme from Key and Peele, where it's like their new job, their new idea for robbing the bank is they go in there every day, get to know the people, infiltrate the organization. They even give you payroll. And
Yeah.
60 years from now, you get a pension.
Yeah.
Exactly. Gabe's already a pensioner. Son's already a fucking pensioner.
Yeah. Well, how do you think that Canonier and Son got its startup funding?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I don't really like this plan. It's kind of. We really need to flush it out a bit more if we're going to actually do it. Where are we getting the ship? What are we saying to the people? Why should they believe us and not just shoot you on sight? You know, how are we getting in to even cause a distraction? What distraction are we causing? How are we getting out?
Hmm.
The distraction might only last a couple of minutes. How are you going to, like, rummage through the fortress as the distraction's going on?
What if we never stole a boat to begin with? We just leave on a boat.
So we steal a boat to end with.
Well, no, we don't steal the boat. We just convince people that the destination has changed, and then we just ambush them out at sea, and like take the boat then.
It is worth saying, though, the biggest thing your ship has going for it is immense firepower. That's kind of it, though. Like,
Yeah,
if
because
you guys can't sink the ship, what are you going to do?
exactly, like, how are we supposed to take over a boat, wouldn't it look really suspicious if a boat just comes like hobbling in full of fucking holes and like
Not if we say, damn, our munitions sucked.
This is also like a commercial port. Even though there's this spot that the repository's in, other ships sail by. You could just sail up, try to load before they shoot you out of port.
Sounds risky.
I fucking love that plan even more than the like everyone just attack at once, because it's like everyone load up onto the bilge water. We're going in, guys. We like go in, ramming speed, hit the ground. We dive off, grab as much as we can fit into our hands, get on the ship, and piss off.
Yeah, it's like in Sea of Thieves, and you're like, I'm just gonna run in this treasure real quick. Okay. So I think this plan is very silly.
Yes.
But I don't think that we're going to get a better plan in terms of simplicity than we break a window or we sneak in through a window, grab some stuff, put in our pockets, and run. I'm just worried about like how much stuff can we realistically sort of gather with this method.
Will,
but
does the sheet of paper that says the incoming things also have the outgoing shipments? Like what time the munitions and the... It doesn't have that. Or is it just, it's a repository, it goes out when it needs to go out?
Precisely. This is basically the regular shipments are so that this place stays stocked, and then anytime a ship needs to come in for like emergency repairs after a fight, or like there's a sudden order that they need 50 ships in this part of the sea in the next 24 hours, then like a bunch of them will flood in. The outgoing is the part that's very chaotic.
Okay. So more than likely, they'll have it at night for us to go in and steal that shit for both the munitions and whatever's in the armored vehicle that we assume has money. Or notes. Something of that. The one that left from the printing press.
I feel like we need more information. Like, we need to look at this fortress a little bit closer to know what the best course of action is.
Well,
I just don't feel like we have enough information.
I could get a nighttime bird's eye view.
Yeah?
I didn't want to go during the day because they have a tendency to shoot at warbles.
Do you want to do an additional session of like prep time after this then?
Probably.
Well, we should definitely decide what the hell we're doing.
Yeah, like an initial like this is a vague idea, and then next session is like acquisition of materials, testing of strategies.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So are we going with just we let's smash and grab, maybe a distraction?
It's too fortressy to do a smash and grab. Like, we gotta do this something in addition to the smash and grab in order to get things out. You know?
The only direction you could smash and grab from is either like a door that's already open because they've opened it for a shipment, or directly via the docks, but that wouldn't be the warehouse itself. That would just be the like shipyard. So there would already need to be stuff moved there.
Okay. Is it bad to ask?
It will.
Mm-hmm.
How feasible would it be, like, if, say, 4 people were to infiltrate and 3 people were to infiltrate a different way? So we have a total of, like, 7 people in the building when we're grabbing stuff. Like, to just have people carrying shit, basically.
That could be done.
Like just grabbing stuff and like carrying it out and trying to sneak out the way that some of them came in.
Like get a few people to sneak in before the distraction or the smash. Get them to move stuff so that it's ready for the smash, and then when the distraction and smash hit, just like load and go.
Yeah, like what if our weapon, like what if the senior munitions inspector is just like goes in there and starts inspecting, and then Jane's sort of infiltration crew actually just like infiltrates, and now we have a group of people inside that are able to grab, and a group of people that are able to misdirect to sort of assist and also grab potentially if the timing's right, and then just
So one group
exfiltrate.
one group of thieves, one group of assaulters, and one group of goofballs or clowns, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, before listen, I'm not saying like I like that plan. That sounds like a good plan. That's probably what we're going to go with. How airtight is this building? What if we just like gassed it? If they can't get out quickly, what if we just started slowly filling it with some sort of gas?
A neurotoxin.
It's too open air. Anything
Okay.
out in the shipyard would like flood through. You could do it with individual rooms or even sections of the warehouse, but like the shipyard area is sorry, there's too much wind going through it for that.
Yeah, that's what I figured. All right, it was worth asking. I think probably I don't know. I feel no shame.
I mean, it's like I said, you can't gas the entire building, but you could gas a room or a section.
Well,
Ken, what were you saying again? What was the plan that you had in your mind?
Like we do the munitions thing where like a couple of people go in to inspect the munitions, and they basically run assist for an infiltration team to sort of just go in and grab and get out.
Okay. Like grab and bring to the docks?
Like grab and bring back to the bilgewater, like to sneak out back through the window kind of thing.
so
No ships involved in the plan other than when we just piss off.
So my understanding, Ken, then is that the plan is munitions inspector
Yeah.
rolls up to the joint, says, "Hey, it would be real cool and great in the service of the Empire if you were to stack all of these barrels in convenient location X." As that happens, distraction group creates a distraction, which allows infiltration group to come in, take conveniently stacked barrels, and skedaddle.
So, what do you think infiltration group means? I feel like that's the semantic hinge here.
Smash and grab group.
Infiltration group is people who aren't seen by guards.
Yeah.
Because I think right now there's a vagary as to whether this is 2 groups or 3 groups, and as to which group is doing what.
Yeah,
I
I
see.
was just saying 2 groups as distraction, infiltration, and the rest are just on the boat in case shit goes bad.
Okay. See, I was thinking 3 groups. You got sort of that the first group that butters up, gets everything nice and easy for a smash and grab.
Mhm.
Smash and grab group comes in with the distraction group creating a distraction for groups A and B.
Excuse me. Sorry, was that distracting?
Losing it.
Okay, so you're saying senior weapons inspector group, distraction group, and smash and grab group.
Yeah. Might be too many
Okay.
groups. We could simplify it to 2
What
groups.
is the point of the
You have
senior?
11 people. You have 11 people.
What
The
is-
senior, that one was the alibi to get you in the building for a ground infiltration, so you can get people to move the crates.
So yeah, that's like if you're able to sneak in, let's say through a window, and that's going to be the easiest way for you to sneak in and out undetected. We say, can you stack all of these crates by this window, so that when you're trying to sneak in under the cover of the distraction, it's much easier than having to like sneak all the way into the warehouse, into the boat. You can just sort of, they're all piled nice and neat for you.
Yeah. Okay, but we're not bringing them to the docks or like going out through a window or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going out through the window, back over the wall kind of thing.
So that's going to still be as much as you can carry.
Yes.
And you would have to like walk holding this stuff all the way back to the docks.
Or we could get a wagon. If we get a wagon and,
Throws
then we don't
a
have to walk
wagon
with
over the
it.
wall. Like rolls up to a window, chucks it out, and just all the way back to the wall.
Holy, Holy shit. Hang on. Is this too much? Can they create a barrel-themed act? A barrel-themed act where part of it is they have all of these barrels that they're stacking up and playing around with, and when it's time for them to go, they put it on their wagon and ride away.
So they just roll up to the fortress, being like, "Hey guys, want to see a show?"
Yeah, so they're doing that, and we have people in the bushes going through the window, getting all the crates and barrels, discreetly getting it over to them, and they're like, "Wow, barrels!" Loading them onto the wagon. Haha, show's over, time to go. That's too much. That's a stretch.
They roll up to the gate and
feel
just
like
get shot.
I hate to say it, but I feel like the only problem with that plan is the fact that if a circus group showed up, they would be like, "We don't want to watch an act, leave." I feel like if you could convince them to watch a circus act at the gates of the repository, it would work. But that's also like they would have to be dumb enough to fall for it.
Right. Well, that's why we got them. Hey, can you stack it up next to the clown parking, please?
Now, you know how I was like, take this idea, put it to the side? I
Yeah.
feel like now is the time to pick it up and put it back to center stage.
Oh,
A recall.
recall. The problem is I no longer like recall plan. I'm really into this plan of like a 3-stage part where we soften it up for the initial one, get a big distraction, and then it's like bing bang boom. It's real nice and simple because all the crates are stacked up nice and neat.
Well, that's the thing is you don't need to say recall the whole time and then pick up the recall. You just need to use it as an excuse long enough for them to move everything to one location.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could be senior weapons inspector. Also, I have this recall.
Mhm.
I got to come in and inspect.
Yeah. By the
Oh,
way,
I see. These are the things in the recall. Could you just move these particular items to this side
yeah.
of the factory for now, just so
Yeah.
we can collect them? And then there'll be once those are all moved, the distraction.
Yep.
On the opposite side of the opposite side. Everybody rushes over there, smash and grab people, smash a window, take all this stuff, and we get the hell out of there.
Get the hell out. That sounds like a plan to me. And a part of me wishes we hadn't made this plan in full view of Will, because Will also is the mind of the people that are going to try and stop us. And now I'm scared because I'm thinking of all the ways this will go wrong, but I don't want to force feed Will ideas to ruin our lives. Like, I trust that Will can do that on his own.
A lot of places this could go wrong. Absolutely.
If I'm going to be underhanded, I'm going to be like overhanded, you know?
Yeah. For sure.
So the smash and grab is through a window to a rented wagon?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I don't see another good way to do it.
So then from the rented wagon to the Bilgewater or the Clown Mobile, and then exit?
Yeah.
All right. So then that would be Distraction Squad, Smash and Grabbers, and Infiltrators.
Yeah.
I'm
How
gonna
do you
be
guys
on this. I'm gonna be Distraction Squad.
Oh, I thought the clowns were Distraction Squad.
No, the
we
clowns
have
are
multiple people.
infiltrators.
Oh.
Because they're the ones who can get away with like the barrel gambit and the lies and keeping up personas.
Okay.
Yeah, Jane, terrible social, also not very strong. So I'm just gonna shoot a couple people, and
Yeah.
that's gonna be our distraction.
Oh, killing. Killing is the distraction. Okay.
Well, I'm assuming
Yeah,
you could also make some bombs to really get the distraction going.
Yeah, like I think the idea was that the distraction is literally just like when one of the shipments come in, you try and attack through the gates and then fail and retreat.
Yeah. We can figure that out next time, though, exactly what the distraction's going to be.
Yeah, and create weapons and bombs and licenses and costumes and all like that. Yeah.
All right. So then, current plan: get people to go in and the ordained time to deal with this whole recall situation. Quietly move things over. There's going to need to be some kind of wagon that's picked up so that the smash and grabbers can get it through a window, and you'll have to pick which window it is from the outside. After that, You just got to pick when you're attacking the gate because there's a bunch of different shipments that come in. Okay, we can figure that out next time.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. So you can check us out at twitch.tv/CrodenLive. We are at youtube.com/Mr. Croden for all the videos of this fine here game. We got some rules at bloodwine.fandom.com. That's the most recent public version. I've got more recent versions going private that I'm going to try and just get them out. I've been sitting on them too long and nothing's happening. I should just do something about that. But what do we got coming up? We got streams coming up.
We got streams coming up. So I'm gonna be streaming on Friday, and it's gonna be a new game. I'm gonna be playing Scarlet Nexus, which is an anime game from Blamco.
Okay.
It's anime, and it looks really intriguing, and I want to try it. So we're gonna see how it goes.
All right.
And then on Saturday, if you're feeling up to it, Will, because you got vaccinations and stuff like that, so
To be fair, I don't have to be on camera, so I can be sitting in bed going, funny joke.
yeah, but if you're half dead, it might not be the best. But we'll play that one by ear. I don't actually know what we're playing.
We'll have to figure that out. We'll figure it out.
We'll have to figure that one out.
And Mass Effect Mondays.
And Mass Effect Mondays, which is always fantastic.
All right, so we'll see you then.
Yep. Then, as always, thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.